This is my favorite time of the year. It's a time for family, friends, just a general well-being to get together and share experiences. They say experiences are more important than a gift. And a new study in England said that you'll live longer by attending live music concerts. In fact, there's a 21% increase, 75% increased mental stimulation. It is better than yoga, dog walking, sorry dog, and it gives you a sense of increased well-being. And at the Enid Symphony, Doug, you know we're all about providing beautiful music and experiences and to really celebrate this time of the year. What is the symphony doing now?
Well, this year we've done something completely different. We're doing a 1 hour, made for television by the way, opera by the Italian-American composer Giancarlo Menotti. This opera was written in 1951 because NBC Television created a program whereby they were commissioning opera for television. And when this was premiered on Christmas Eve, 1951, it was seen by over 5 million viewers, which is one of the largest audiences NBC had for a program at that particular time. So Amahl is an absolutely fascinating sung story, sung in English, features the Enid Symphony Orchestra, members of the Enid High School choirs, and a few community singers, and of course led by the Painted Sky Opera Company, and features actually the starring role is a 12-year-old boy soprano. That's the way Menotti wanted his Christmas story told, through the eyes of a child. So.
It sounds beautiful and it lifts our spirits, and we're going to live longer by seeing this incredible performance.
Well, I'm hoping to live through it. If I get to Monday the day after, that'll be just a marvelous thing for me. No, I think we will. You know, they say conductors live until, you know, their 90s, 100s, simply because they never use their heart. But that's not the case here. This is one of the most heartfelt, beautiful stories I think I've ever heard. And look, if your family is looking for something to do together, a non-commercial something to do together for Christmas, Amahl and the Night Visitors might be that perfect thing for a family outing. The story of Amahl is very simple. It was inspired by painting in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, which Menotti saw, and it was a painting by Hieronymus Bosch, in fact, as part of an altarpiece for church, and it was a painting called The Adoration of the Magi, so the three kings coming to adore the newborn Christ child. Well, this gave Menotti the idea for his Christmas Eve opera for NBC television. And he thought back to his childhood in Italy, where Santa Claus doesn't visit Italian children and bring gifts. The three kings in search of the Christ child is their tradition. The three kings visit children and bring gifts on their way in search of the Christ child. So he combined that fact with what he saw in the painting and created the story of a little boy who's crippled, whose mother's widowed, and they're very poor. They live in the desert. And lo and behold, the little boy tends to make things up, but at night he looks out and he sees a huge star in the sky in the east, and he hears this odd singing, and here come these three kings to their little home. And they ask to come in and rest for a while on their journey. And the mother asks them who they're seeking, and they say, the Christ child, but it's a special child we've never met. We don't know who this child is. Do you know a child that is so special? And the mother says, of course, my son Amahl is a special child. Well, the kings, the shepherds in the community, which will be played in this production by members of the Enid High School choir. Matt Johnson is being terrific to help us put this together. The shepherds come and visit, They're called in. Amahl goes to fetch them. They come to visit the kings. Just can't believe it. And they're afraid to go in with the kings, but they do, and they feed them and entertain them with dance, and then leave. And the kings go to sleep. And when they're asleep, the mother, being human, is tempted to think of all that she could do with the gold that they have for the Christ child. So she attempts to steal a bit of it and is caught by the page who accompanies the kings, who awakens them, and it awakens Amahl, and he attacks the page who is holding his mother back from stealing the gold. And the kings do the ultimate, perform the ultimate Christian act of forgiveness, and they say, "You may keep the gold." At which Amahl says, "Mother, I want to go see this Christ child. I want to take him my crutch."
Oh.
And he reaches out and hands his crutch, and here's the Christmas miracle.
Right.
He can walk.
Wow.
And the three kings believe that he is a blessed child, and so, with his mother's permission, they take him, they leave with him on their journey to see the Christ child. He taking his crutch in appreciation for the miracle.
This is delightful.
Being able to
Now,
walk.
I don't know if people realize this comes up quicker than you think. This concert, Sunday, December 8th.
Sunday, December 8th. 2 performances on the 8th. One at 2 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock. It lasts about 50 minutes. There's no intermission. It's sung in English. You'll understand everything. And you'll see the procession of the kings. You'll hear them. You'll see them all. I mean, fairly incredible piece of music, little one-act opera. Just a charming way to start the holidays.
And people should get tickets. It will come sooner than you think. There's Thanksgiving, and a week later is the concert.
1 week later,
So-
yes, Sunday, December the 8th. And I know there's a lot going on
There is.
that week in Enid, and that's great. It just proves what kind of vibrant
It
city
does.
we have. But we hope you're going to think of the Enid Symphony Orchestra and Painted Sky Opera to attend a performance of Amahl and the Night Visitors. It used to be, and still is shown, it used to be a Christmas Eve tradition and was at one time also shown at Easter time,
wow.
which it's,
Yeah,
maybe a little
course.
less appropriate there.
Right.
But
Well, now, Enid Symphony is very well known, and I know you don't like to mention this, but last year you were at the University of Central Oklahoma, and were you were directing Mozart's Così fan tutte, and you got a national award. Tell us about that.
Oh, I'm so excited about it for the students that participated in this.
Yeah.
Last year I became the conductor of the opera theater for their major productions and conducted Così fan tutte. And they submitted to an opera production competition run by the National Opera Association. And out of 100 and some entrants in their category, they were chosen. This was chosen as the #2 collegiate production of an opera in America last year. A phenomenal experience for all of us. It was judged on the basis of the stage direction, the students singing, the production, which is costume and scenery, and the performance of the orchestra. So we were a student orchestra from UCO, and we've just absolutely thrilled to receive this acknowledgement.
Right, and obviously under the direction of you, you're doing amazing things here in Enid. It's an opportunity, this next concert, for people to see you in action. Now, before we go,
What a nice way of saying it.
before we go, we better introduce everybody to our special guest today. Do you want to
Yes.
come up and say hi?
Our special
He's been
guest
so good.
is Dahg Nule. That's Dahgnuel. He's Dahg Nule. I'm
He's such a good
Doug
boy.
Newell. He's a Newell. I'm a Newell. But he's my buddy. I found him about 5 years ago at the SPCA, and I'm here to tell you, there's not a role for him in the opera. But boy, is there a role for him in my house, in my life. Adopt a pet for Christmas for somebody. It's just the neatest thing you can ever do.
So, Doug, it's been wonderful, as always. I can't wait to see the next performance of Amahl. I know tickets are available online, or you can call the box office either Monday through Friday, 9 to 1, or anytime in your pajamas online.
Never thought of that. That's marvelous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us here today.